I wanted to give this a second chance review, take another look at it. I do like certain things about this game. Launch controls, I don't want to launch myself. I think I got that for the achievement, was it? There was something for achievement here. Wait. This one has...
We are over now.
Wow. And I got a trophy! I've never run into that before. Interesting. Okay, then. Well, then, you got to see something new, and I got to see something new. That was weird. Okay. It surprised me. So, let's talk about a few things. First off, I want to say how different you can feel this game from not only the other works of Arcane Studios. It's more slow, and it's more like Deus Ex, kind of. Oh, we got a health pack here. I could use that. I can't remember... Ah, there's a light. Okay, so it's got pretty much the same like setup in its UI and such. Leveling up, got status. Your inventory especially reminds me of Deus Ex, so I want to use that actually. There we go. Back to a good healthy amount of, well, health. So that was interesting. I ran into that. Never run into that encounter before. At least I didn't kill him. So let's see. Go to... Okay, we're going here. Some of the loading screens are a bit longish, but at least they got stuff like going on that you can read on them, kind of. I like the game's art style. The graphics serve to the art style as well. It's not meant to be too realistic looking, but it's nice. I like you can tell the difference of it compared to even the other shooters of Bethesda games. Doom's more fast, this one's more slow, tactical. There's more thinking behind it that you do behind it. Not that Doom doesn't have that, but you're more fast with your thinking. You can take your time and you're a little slower in your thinking of this. But there are situations that put you where you have to think a little bit quicker than you usually would. So it's definitely shows. Also in its weapons, the weapons feel very different. You kind of feel like you're in a early Resident Evil survival horror game. There are some scary parts. I like the use of the mimics, though that is a problem. The enemies start... the variety is as lacking as Resident Evil 7. The only thing is I actually liked Resident Evil 7, even though this is technically better and has more content to it. Oh, we got a 0G area. I didn't think we were going to hit a 0G area so soon. It very much reminds me of stuff like BioShock and Dead Space, even. Speaking of such. We got some enemies somewhere. Oh, there they are. I don't know if I want to... Oh gosh, I got this stinking thing. Okay, I don't want to use that. You got a glue gun that you can also use kind of like to make stairs and such. I want to use this, and of course a melee weapon. This game does get kind of weird at the beginning of the game because it's meant to make you feel like you're reliving the same day, but it only does it for a little bit before it goes back to this. There is an interesting story to unravel and some interesting characters. Though it is predictable, and you can even see that with like Markiplier and such, because they pretty much exactly predicted some of the stuff that would happen. And I kind of predicted some similar stuff. I don't know if I was as on point as Markiplier was. But yeah, this is still a fantastic game. It's just, as well as I do think some modes, like the Typhoon Hunt, or whatever it is, It's where you can play as a mimic and somebody plays as like Morgan. Ewer. I can't remember his name quite. You're also trying to either help or stop your brother from whatever he's going to do, and you have various endings and options that you can choose from at the very end of the game. Whoa. Wait, what am I aiming at? It says military operator. Is that down here? Look at this place. What the crud happened here? Oh, am I near the end of the game? I have no clue. Those look like elevators, by the way. I don't think I am at the end of the game, actually. Because I think I would recognize this place. I would recognize it anyways, because I've already beaten this game for the channel. Yeah, I like the story. It is predictable in areas. I like the gameplay. It's more slow. Whoa, what the... Oh, it's one of these stinking things. I forgot about these. Interesting. Didn't think I was gonna run into these creatures loading this game up. I thought this was an early game character I had. There's multiple objectives down there. Take my toy gun. Ha ha ha. Oh, I got a Q-beam with no ammo. Crud. Get lost, dink. I need to go down there. There's multiple objectives. Okay, hopefully that thing doesn't come after me as I go down here. Woohoo! You want to be careful going really fast here. You can actually hurt yourself and hit into things. Oh! I'm so glad I got out of that. Oh, jeez. Alright. Hopefully I can get out through this way. Alright. Yes! Go to Talos Swan Bridge. Alright, so... yeah, this game... there's a lot to it. There's a lot of, like, options you can make, too. It's got interactivity. It's not too interactive with any human characters. You're mostly going to be seeing a lot of the same creatures, phantoms and such. But for the most part, I think there's enough variety to the levels and such that, and the backtracking doesn't bother me too much. That it's a satisfying experience. It is a real satisfying experience, and there are enough later scarier enemies, like even though some of them are just like much bigger versions of phantoms, they are quite stinking terrifying nonetheless, kind of like what you saw there. But yeah, this, you can tell the difference in this game from most of Arcane's previous games. They made one of the most insane games in the past I love. Dark Messiah. And of course they're known for the Dishonored series. The first Dishonored's great. I think the second one was kind of mediocre in my opinion. Kind of a letdown. But it wasn't awful because it had some good level designs at least and such. But yeah, wait a minute. Back here again. Oh, it wants me to do something here. Okay, fine. Hopefully this isn't the end of the game. It looks... I don't know. I don't know if this... because I haven't played all the way through this again in quite a while, but I have played a little bit of it because it's on Game Pass now. This might be spoiler territory, but I'm not certain once again. So, yeah. That looks amazing, though. I like that. There's a segment I remember, too, more towards the end of the game that was really annoying. And it was kind of hard to find your way around that level. I think Markiplier had the same problem with the level, if he remembers what it was. You kind of have to climb all these like areas, use your glue gun, go on these bridges, and there's these floating monsters that are going to just get in your way, that mind control human beings in the game. which you do have the option of killing them, but you can also get an achievement for not killing any, which I have gotten that achievement. I think I'm doing another run, this might be what this is, where I can kill everyone and get a different achievement. But yeah, it was interesting too that I ran into that new encounter, so it's asking me something here. So, got a no wave thing. You got various endings. You can even get like kind of a secret ending where you can just leave the ship early and just say, screw that, I'm not being the hero. I'm being a coward and getting the crud out of here. But yeah, it's fun. And you got a lot of like interesting little characters and interactions even with yourself later, which is weird. But it's an interesting...
What am I talking to?
My name is January 2035.
Uh-oh.
There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me.
Oh, we got
You're a
some...
machine. No conceived one. Morgan would never. You
Oh, we
tricked
got...
him. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12th, 2035. Your brother created me to ensure his objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine?
So I know what's gonna happen
There's no
up here,
difference between
because
what
this
I
is
want
part
and
of
what
a
Morgan
decision you
wants.
make. So I am
the real
actually
Morgan.
closer to the end than I
You
thought I
believe his
was.
present disposition is illegitimate, because
So,
it might be rooted in the personality drift
That's
users
interesting.
experience
Voice
when
acting is
subjected
great,
to
by
heavy
the way. You
neuromod
can
cycling.
already tell.
But why believe
I
that?
love Morgan Yu's
It's
brother, by
conceivable
the way.
Morgan
He's
might have
probably
reached
one of my
similar
favorite
conclusions,
characters.
but for different reasons.
He's probably a jerk to
Can
other
you
people,
determine
but
how
he's
much
one
the
of my
drift
favorites.
imposed on his thinking? I cannot.
Oh, I've determined one thing.
What is that?
You don't know the difference between a bug and a feature.
Not the real Morgan. What just happened? Something just happened up there. I don't know what happened up there. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know what to say because I wouldn't... I'm sorry to say this, but I probably wouldn't play through this entire game again. I know that sounds mean. But I would definitely check out stuff like Moon Crash and such, even if it's multiple times. I mean, this is a confidently made game. I feel that the creators of it were very passionate and put a lot of thought and love into this game. It's not a bad game, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't play through it again. I mean, there's enough options and variety in just how you go about playing it that it definitely does. Especially in like leveling up, you can literally turn into like coffee cups and such. I love being able to turn into other items. That's always cool for some little puzzle segments and such. So I'm kind of just standing here because I think this is where I have to go, and this might be a main mission stuff. It says self-destruct. Not sure. Not the real Morgan. What? I don't know what that... Is he talking about the robot that was up there? Anyways, there's probably some spoiler stuff, and I'm not even certain of it going on right now. Because I haven't played this in forever. I'm sorry if there is, but... And I definitely think you should check it out nonetheless. There's a lot of lore as well, and I love reading through the different emails and such that you can run into, or the tapes, recorders that you can listen to. It's always great and reminds me of stuff like BioShock. So I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. This is still a fantastic game. My final ratings, I think I would have to give this a 7.9 for my personal rating, a 7.7 for my audience rating, and a 7.5 for the more realistic critical score. So I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I did always want to see what the second Prey game, as a lot of fans who did, was going to look like, but I think this isn't a bad game for what it is, and I feel like it's more standalone-ish from the original Prey game. So I still think it's great nonetheless in its own unique way, and it's different enough too. So I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and I forgot to say, Mick Gordon is behind the music. I think the music definitely is serviceable more for the atmosphere and setting of the game. but it's definitely no Doom music, but I do like it. Just, it doesn't stand, a lot of the stuff in this don't stand out quite as much as some other Bethesda games. But it's not a awful game, once again. It's definitely better. It's definitely better than Rage 2 as well, which I just recently reviewed. You'll see that too. Even though I think the gunplay is probably a little bit more fun, it's just everything surrounding the gunplay in that game that I'll get to in that video that isn't quite that great. So, I'll see you guys next time, and I'll check this out in the meantime. Bye, guys!